back to the original camera review because I don't know, the other one I tried this wasn't really working on. So the topic of today, no topic of the day, usually just off of one. It was for me emotional fortitude, but I don't know now. But the reason I'm so, jittery more than usual, because I try to keep a monotone voice in all my videos, because I feel like emotion kind of sways, you know, your opinion on things, and it gives you like a clouded mind. It doesn't really cloud your drums, but it kind of affects your view when, I don't know, you're just high on life. So the reason I am so jittery is because summer is officially over, meaning school is starting up. Or, you're doing 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with that. So my options is football with college, or get a regular job and just side with that. I don't know. I guess when I first started working, my ego was too high to work at a consumer business, like a fast food area, Like my pride was too high for that. Like I felt like I was above that. I felt like I was a slave. But now I'm to my own devices. It's more, it wasn't even more mental purgatory. It was like more of a physical thing. Like you're not really controlled. Like you don't have your own when you work. But it's a good reason to work because it's how you provide for yourself. You know, you don't. Only animals that have to pay to live on the earth we was born on, which is crazy. It makes you think. Sometimes there's no reason to get put on this earth. Sometimes you just do it just to do it. Some people are just here to enjoy life. Some people are here to make a mark. And I'm here just to yap. It's just a yap. I'm here just to yap. And voice I say myself, incorrect opinions on the world since I have such a young mind. Because people start to doubt you when you bring up age. The younger you are, the less experience you so-called have. So people might be 40, less experienced than you, and don't know jack, but they think because, they're twice as older than you, they experience more, they know what they're talking about. That's why I say you can't put an age on knowledge. But people do that so much. I was supposed to be running today, but I don't know. It just, for some reason, I stopped. I got a good little jog in, but it's not hitting the same because I guess the heat's it's not excruciating. It's more calm. So I feel like I'm not really running with no pressure, and I gotta stop that. I got decisions to make because the one thing that scares me is wasted potential. But everybody has so-called potential when you're young, but it starts to fade when you get older because you're not doing anything. So with that in mind, you could be 20 with no job, severe alcoholic, and be like, oh, he's still figuring it out. That's why these days there's no rush. But I feel like there is a little bit of rush. There's enough rush to the point where you should figure out, not even figure out, but have something to do. Because if you don't, you're going to be sitting down endlessly thinking that, dang, I wish I could have. And honestly, I don't want to stay like that. I was supposed to be. I don't know. What am I supposed to be doing? I don't know. I have all these frivolous accolades for school and just living, but I feel like it's useless. And some people are unbothered by that, and that's fine. But me, there's way more to life than just I accomplished something, so give me gratitude. Because if you look at life in a nihilistic standpoint, is nothing matters, you're gonna die. That's too morbid. That's too, I don't know, too deep. You know? And I get harshed on by the people that so-called love me that because I have a surface, not even a surface knowledge, but a surface view on life. Because I understand life is deeper than that, but if you put too much emphasis on just little things, it starts to crucially degrade your mind. You could take my opinion with a grain of salt because you don't know me at all. There's going to be an endless amount of content made throughout the years and what makes you stand out. That's why so many people, I use this word a lot, so many people use that wow factor that gets you hooked. Have a nice little thumbnail, a title and all. But what does that gain, you know? People make life too complicated, you know? That's what they be like, oh, life is meaningless, life is deeper, life is redundant. You just can't put a thing on one word and then just call it as it is, you know? Like, what do I gain for saying this is what life is, take it like this, or everything else is wrong? I don't know you. You don't know me. So, like, at the end of the day, what is the point of telling somebody how to live? There's no point. Because you can be very unbothered. You know? Very unbothered by life. You gotta make a decision. Actually, today, while I was rocking, a kind gentleman asked me, he's like, you ready for school? I was like, I already graduated. He's like, dang, that's awesome. What's next? And when he said that, I kind of chuckled because I was like, dang, he's right. What is next? It's either I take an offer for a school for a full ride that's not that good, but it's not even that it's not that good. I don't know what I want, and being indecisive ruins your chances to be great. I gotta take that, or because the way I see it, this is how it it all starts and ends. Everything is like a transaction, you know. Even in sports, it's not a game anymore. It's a business. They see what you're worth. The more experienced you are, and the more young you are, the more you're sought out for. Just by physical talent or knowledge of the game. You might have both, but you might be undersized or less known. What I'm going with this is I I'm not that known. I have a little bit of talent, but I'm undersized. So it's just that little voice in the back of my head like, why are you even trying, bro? You're not gonna get that forward. But then I see people that are like me that don't let that stop them. And I think that's wonderful, you know? I have I wouldn't call him a close friend, but he was a sports colleague that I talked to him. I talked to him a lot because I see a lot of potential in him. So I don't even try to strive him on the right path because he knows what he's doing. I just try to, get those little jabs and like stay focused, stay on that. But I had nobody to tell me that, so I'm here yapping, not bringing any value to the world. But, you know, as I say that, it makes me think, what is value, Like, what can you bring upon, Because you can make music, you can make art, you can write a book, be gifted in a sport. People love to see that. But so many things you can do that can make you so-called great. But that's not everlasting. I feel like the only thing that can make you so-called everlasting is you gotta do something monumental to the point where it's not even stuck on history. It's stuck in the world, not just socially. Because when we're long gone, what is the point of doing something so grandeur? You can embellish your name into something, but that's still not gonna really help. Opinions. That what people look for the most. Opinions. Why do you do the things you do? In my mind, I feel like it's mostly what you learned or what you had in your child experience, and then most of it is just opinions. But everybody's mind doesn't work the same. If that was the case, we would have not that many people with with different mindsets, As I walk around and see time slip out my hands, supposedly, I'm like, bro, I gotta do something fast. If I don't, I'm gonna become the worst thing that I don't want to be, and a bum. And that's not just be like, oh, being a bum. Da, da, da. I see bum as something way worse, because you can be homeless and not be a bum. There's so many people that are homeless but are very knowledgeable. This is also crackers that's like that. Let me be serious. I just think that I gotta find something quick, cause this might vanish in a couple months, if I'm being honest. I'm a lose the motivation or the discipline or whatever you call it, cause you can have motivation for a couple hours and then just forget about it later. You can have discipline and then still lose faith in it, Because if you have discipline with no motivation, your content starts to become bland to the point where it's not really watchable. So either I sell out, start publishing my social media accounts on everything, tell friends to subscribe, this, that, and the third, or I keep doing this, don't really say anything about it, let people find it on their own without putting FYP and stuff like that, and build something great slowly. I don't know. What should I do? Because if I take the sports thing serious and I go to the collegiate level, I'm going to forget about this completely, and I'm going to have to lock in, relearn football, basically, or go to baseball. Oh, it's a little something about me. Sports. I do baseball, football. I did basketball. But, like, even with that, I feel like so many people have so much opinions on sports and they didn't even make it past high school. They peaked in high school and they're talking about, oh, da, da, da. Like, I feel like you shouldn't have an opinion on something that you didn't experience firsthand or you didn't study on. Because people can, be a coach on the couch or be a coach on the bleachers, but like, you gotta think. A simplistic game is so complicated now because it's like a game of chess. You're predicting moves and you're doing things over and over because it's predictable, then you change it. That's why sports are so demanding on the mind and the physical body. You just can't relish in the past about it, though. You just gotta pick up that 9 to 5, start flipping them burgers, become a plumber or something, or get a dead-end job, or fade. You just fade into, I don't know. I think every day that, like, everybody has their own lives and their own problems. That's what makes the world so wonderful. But I think everybody knows that. Like, if you're above the age, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, my fault. If you're above the age of 15 and you gain consciousness, I feel like you understand the right to wrong, no matter how you grew up. But sometimes, even with that, people just do wrong just to do it, and then they blame it on their youth. They bring it on their lack of knowledge, or I'm just young and dumb. And I feel like that's a cop-out. Because I'm young, and I feel like I don't got everything figured out. I don't at all. Not even enrolled in a school yet, and it's already school type of timing. I feel like I wasted my life. I feel like, matter of fact, it's not even a feeling. It's a full known fact about me that around middle school, I knew I was going to be well known or completely a bum. There's no in between. There's no me getting a job, working a 9 to 5, having a family. I say that in a couple of videos, but I start to backtrack every time I talk. So, my words start to mean nothing. That's what there's no in between. Cause everybody tell you you're gonna be great. You're gonna be this wonderful guy. You're so autistic. You have these visions. You can do what you want. It's just, but they say that, but they don't really mean it. They just do it just to not even hype your head up, but to keep you on track. How long until you figure out what do you want? I feel like the only reason I want to be impactful, not because of the money, the fame, the notoriety, me being known, is just, I feel like that's what I was built for. Like, it's a feeling. Like, I get goosebumps just thinking about, oh my God, me doing this, me doing that. Because if I do one thing, I'm not gonna feel, I don't know, feel successful. I'm not gonna feel fulfilled, Because I could go like fully in art, start making more murals around the world and perfecting my craft, and then after that, I don't know what do I do next? Because you can get all these accomplishments in one category and feel like you've done nothing. Maybe because I'm just young, and that's why. Because, when you're young, you don't know what you want. You'll figure it out. No, you won't. Not to be no downer, but you're not going to figure out what you want. You might figure it out. You might not. Sometimes when you so-called figure it out, it's just somebody's other opinion you kind of forgot, but subconsciously you remember. You be like, oh, I always wanted to do that. No, you didn't. You just heard it one time. You feel like it was interesting. But that's how you build of things that you want. You don't know. You just find something interesting and you do it. But when it comes to my mind, I'd be like, there's so many kids that want to do a lot. They want to become a NFL star, basketball player, an artist, a book writer, but they don't have the talent, you know. Cause like, if we're being honest, hard work beats talent 10 times. No, it doesn't. The only time hard work beats talent when talent isn't trying hard enough. Like, you got to think about it, bro. If that was the case, you would see a lot of people that's very skillful but not talented on the made page, but you don't. Some of the greatest people in the world wasn't because of hard work, it was because of talent. And then even when you see somebody without talent that just did hard work, they're not really known. There's not that many. I feel like you could find them, but it's like very obscure. You gotta look them up, or you just know them off the top of your head. But I don't know. Ooh, covering the mic. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll find out. Maybe I will. You know, maybe I won't. Either way, it'll be something. It'll be something. It'll be something. This is actually a short video, and I stayed on topic, and I'm very happy that I did. So, with that all being said, I really, really hope this makes it forward. You know, somebody find this, you subscribe, and you start following me up. You know, but that's all I gotta really say, to be honest. And I guess I'll see y'all next time.